Hey guys, what's up? Halo here, and today I'll be doing a review on the DC Direct Black Manta action figure. Oh, I almost said multiverse. Keep forgetting that these page bunchers are part of the DC Direct line, which I'm not too mad about. Now, these are the two figures that I actually wanted the most out of this line. I'm trying to see if I'll get the Ocean Master and add him to my Flashpoint Aquaman army, just because that's the only reason I would want him for. But yeah, so I got these two side by side, or next to each other, just because if everyone doesn't know, Aqualad is actually the son of Black Manta. Big shocker, you know, if you didn't know that, you're kind of behind on comics by 10 years, probably more. But yeah, I really like this Black Manta figure a lot. Here we got a little bit of an up-close shot of the figure. This figure actually reminds me of the movie Black Manta, which is probably my favorite version of the Black Manta. I've owned all three of the Mattel versions of Black Manta before, and I really didn't like them except for the one that came between. So my favorite version of the Black Manta that Mattel released with had to be the Between Two Dooms version, which is where this backdrop comes from, just because you could customize it and he could look like the one from the Super Friends line, so where he had the yellow eyes instead of the red, or you can have him in the red or a more neutral color, which is pretty sick. But this one reminds me a lot of the Aquaman movie, which I'm very happy to have, because instead of having that basic look that he usually has, he's all geared out and armored out and militaried out, which, you know, you need to have that in your modern figures, in my opinion, or the way you do your villains, superheroes, assassins, stuff like that. And he came with this staff, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool staff. You know, he's just another weapon that he can use against Aquaman or Aqualad. In the comic, he fights Aqualad. I'm not going to show you what happens in the comic. You guys have to find that out for yourself. And he comes with these two blades on his arms, which are very lengthy. But you can get him some pretty cool poses, you know, have him flying. The articulation is very nice on this figure. Have him look like he's flying. He's about to launch himself to someone. Pretty cool. Articulation is so smooth on this guy. It's not hindered at all. I really like the face here. It's not just like a giant saucer on his head, but you can tell that is his classic Black Manta. There it is. Let me show off the sides. Got that little shoulder power. Got the back for his jetpack or propulsions in the underwater. And he does actually have some sculpting onto his figure, so it's not just a basic figure. The boots are sculpted. Not so much at the bottom. Side look, he's got that little fin that all these water characters have been having. Pretty cool boots. Chest plate. The eyes. And that's pretty much it for the look. I really like it a lot. Like I said, probably one of my favorite releases this year so far, but there's so much coming out. We'll see what happens. So here's a little side-by-side comparison with the Aquaman figure from the Flashpoint. This is actually probably my favorite version of Aquaman. I've said this a couple times now, minus the derpy face, but he looks sinister, so I like it a lot. And yeah, see, he's standing sort of taller than him because of his mask. And here I got a side-by-side comparison with the DC Direct Aqualad figure to the left. I really like the scaling between all these, you know, with Aqualad being the shortest. And here we got them side by side next to the Ocean Master figure, which now I have my little Aquaman Flashpoint army right here. Because if you've seen I really like the movie that came out. Just him having the whole Atlantis army with Black Manta and Ocean Master and Aqualad. It's just like, that is an OP Aquaman right there, guys. Like, that is taking over the world right there and giving the Justice League a run for his money, even if with Superman, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm thinking about getting that Ocean Master just so I can have a regular version and a version that will join this Aquaman's army. So that's just what I'm trying to do. But let's get these guys out of the way and focus on the favorite part of the video, the articulation. So the shoulders don't really hinder it. The shoulders pads actually move up with him. Let's see if I can show that off. As you can see, it moves up with the Black Manta figure. Pretty cool. You can move side to side very well. Look at that. Sheesh. You can do so much with this figure. The ab is broken into 2 pieces. Up here in the upper torso and right here in the middle. So you can get him spinning. Do a little 360 attack if you want. And it goes 360. I'm not going to show that off, but trust me, it goes 360. And the head's kind of hindered with these tubes in the back. They connect to his helmet. But he can look left to right pretty good. Looks right about that much. Left that much. It's got that butterfly joint at the shoulders. That's why the articulation is so good. Double hinged at the elbows. And you can take off these blades if you want. Just know if you put them back, you'll probably have to glue them back on. I'm going to keep them on because he looks pretty badass with these blades. And they're pretty sharp. When I tried to take them out of the package, kind of hurt my finger a little bit. So be careful with that. Does the splits about that well. Wrist articulation, go 360. Blade's kind of hindered, so you can't go in and out too well. Does go in, not so much out. Ankle articulation, that's standard McFarlane one. Toe goes up and down. Goes more down than up. And yeah, that's it for the articulation. So let me know how you feel about this DC Direct line, how you feel about these new figures coming out. My least favorite is probably the Aquaman, just because I haven't seen that version of him too much. If we get a classic one or a Injustice version, I'd be pretty happy with that. But like I said, this is probably my favorite figure so far of the whole wave, and then Aqualad. It's actually kind of a tie because they're both pretty badass in my opinion. I like those characters a lot from the DC. But that's just me. And yeah, check out my other stuff and try to come out with more videos. Have a good one.